Because you're saying that basically, if it's not for me having a wife and kids, I wouldn't work my ass off. I wouldn't be motivated to make as much money. And don't get me wrong, if the outcome is you making more money, all right, cool. But the reality is this: when you're in that situation, you have a bunch of people who rely on you, who are going to be using those resources. And again, men are okay with that. We're for the most part okay with that. But we gotta have a good deal. We gotta have a certain amount of respect, bro. And no matter where men look, for the most part, when you watch a movie or a TV show, and I heard Joe Budden say this, in movies and TV shows, they are more willing to show you a guy sucking dick than they are to show you a masculine man that's the head of his household. They're almost any time the man's the head of the household or he's masculine, if he's in a movie or a TV show, he's always evil. He's never cool. It's never cool. I remember Jordan Peterson pointing this out about, in particular, he was talking about the Spider-Man movie, right? So in the Spider-Man movie, or just any one of these movies, it's always about the guy that's strong, the guy that's in shape, the guy that's an athlete is the bully, and he's evil, and he's picking on everyone, and he's just terrorizing the school and everything. And he particularly picks on Peter Parker. So a lot of you guys have a Spider-Man fantasy where without that spider, Peter Parker wouldn't be shit. Peter Parker, because for the most part, he represented the loser male, the kind of man that cannot prosper without a fully formed society. Meaning that survival of the fittest would destroy him in a matter of a week because he's not physically strong. That's why all men have to find their own path to strength. I don't care if you want to do whether it's calisthenics or weightlifting or both. You need to do a little something because you'll feel better about yourself. You feel more confident in yourself if you know for a fact I'm strong. All right? Or I have strength, or I know I could do something. Versus a nigga a nigga that can't do 20 push-ups. There are men out here who are a regular weight, and they cannot do 20 push-ups. Like over time, I had to realize like when I would shake hands with men, and like from time to time, I shake hands with the guys a lot smaller than me, and like the handshake is not. It just don't feel good. It feel like I'm pulling him towards me and shit like that. And I'm like, all right, bro, whatever. I guess you're going out to shake hands. And I realized, oh, okay, you know what? I'm a lot stronger than him. So for him, it feels like I'm pulling him. It feels like I'm wrestling him. And it's been a few times myself, but I'm shaking hands with the guy. And maybe the dude he did a little extra because he wanted to show me that he was strong. But it's been a time or two where like a strong guy shook my hand, and I could feel it. Pause. Or even when when other strong dudes dap me in general, if the dap feels secure, it's because he's mad strong as well. Because when I shake hands with niggas, the dap only feels solid, and for the longest time I just thought, oh, all right, cool, we're good friends. I didn't realize, nigga, it takes strength to shake my hand. It takes strength to dap me up. You feel me? But anyway, let's get back to this diatribe here.
Built himself and got remarried. The other one has not.
Make sure we got the
Okay.
score.
Coach Greg Adams strikes me as a dirty old black man. He's a Nate. I don't care what y'all say. Coach Greg Adams is a Nate. I'm in a buying Nate. He's that type of guy. I don't care what y'all say. You can't convince me any other way. Because everybody understands if you're a man of some type of worth, you're going to be married to somebody. Every man understands, yeah, I'm at a certain level now. I got to get a wife because now it makes me look even more important. Then people will take me even more serious when I go into these rooms and I go work with these other married men in these industries. Yeah, better get you a wife. That's what hurt Diddy because he never married.
That's not what hurt Diddy.
That's why Jay-Z is still able to do what he does. He's married. Okay? Y'all complain about how these men get rammed and bent over in divorce, but guess what? They get remarried. There is a level of prestige, dare I say, that comes with marriage. Married men have more prestige than single men. I don't care what y'all say.
Well, fuck that. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm about to close out with homeboy right here in a second, but that's all bullshit. First of all, the world is ran by millennials who are largely not married. That's one. All right. Not only that, you have women in these positions, and they're also not married. Like you have a point that listen. I love the idea of marriage, but again, you have these guys who come online and act like, for the most part, there's just eligible wives everywhere, and if you're a successful guy, basically it's easy. Actually, no. The more that you become, the less people that you can actually date. Like, like me personally, right? Just the fact that I don't care. Listen, despite how y'all think how I look and whatnot, at the end of the day, let's say if I was like seriously dating a girl, she gonna be in shape, bro. If I'm like really seeing her, she gonna be empirically attractive on some level. I'm not super interested in girls who are not empirically attractive. I'm not even saying that she gotta be an absolute knockout. I'm just saying she's gonna be empirically attractive. She's probably gonna have a flat stomach. Because again, it's like driving a new car. Once you drive a new car, you will pay whatever money you gotta pay to maintain your car payment for your newer car. Because once you experience your car being reliable, not needing work all the time, how it looks, how you feel when you look at it coming outside and shit like that. Once you experience that, someone couldn't pay you to drive a hoopty. They couldn't pay you to drive an older car. No one could pay you to not have Bluetooth in your car. No one, let me say right now, bitch, you couldn't pay me to not have a rear view camera in my car for when I'm parking. Fuck y'all. Okay? Dead ass. Fuck y'all. But what he's speaking to is a point that Kevin said, and he probably got it from the same Kevin Samuels show. And what Kevin Samuels was talking about, he was talking about corporate America. Coach Greg is not in corporate America. Coach Greg is an entrepreneur. Don't get me wrong. You may not be a person who watches me. I wouldn't know this either if I didn't watch the show. Coach Greg is a very successful YouTuber. Matter of fact, his story is so fucking inspiring. This dude actually managed to maintain a high income despite being demonetized on YouTube. So he does 2 separate shows on 2 other platforms every single week. He does something called The Money Mindset, and he does a show called, basically it's a show on locals, where he basically goes in depth on the monetized dating market and where things are now, right? And so he goes on sites like Secret Arrangements, stuff like that, and he speaks on the do's and don'ts when it comes to getting a sugar baby and how much you should pay and how to negotiate and how to communicate with these young women, stuff like that, right? They call it the JUCO, right? And in the beginning, you also heard old boy. I'm sorry, I'm going off topic. Before all this, Coach Greg also lived in his car because he went through a nasty divorce and he had to pay child support and alimony, which left him with only half his income. And he built himself up from being in his car all the way to becoming one of the biggest YouTubers in the manosphere space. And I bring it up because we have to acknowledge the fact that you cannot be way less successful than someone and be telling them how they need to be carrying themselves, or be telling them, you need to get a wife. And then he conflated so many different points. He said that's where it hurt Diddy. You're not being specific. Do you mean that it hurt Diddy in the trial with the jury? Or do you mean that he got into the situation he's in because he wasn't married? No. Diddy is in that situation. We all know why he's in the situation. Because he fucked with the wrong people. He sued the people who gave him the Ciroc deal. In their minds, whenever white people give you a deal as a black man, in their mind, they will always let you know who's in control. They will always let you know, okay. Oh, where are you? Oh, you want to sue? You want to play like that? I got you. Judges only make but so much money. If you think a judge is going to turn down $1 million in cold hard cash, $500,000 in cold hard cash, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how many bricks make up $1 million, but shoot, you drop off 10 gold bricks to their front door. They're not going to turn that down. Any of y'all going to jail for $1 million. That judge is sending any one of y'all to jail. That judge is going to dismiss any case if it's a sizable amount of money. It don't gotta be $1 million. It could be 100 racks. That judge is going. You understand me? Super important. But that's not what happened to Diddy. And again, like I said before, I'm not against marriage, but he's arguing from a woman's perspective. And this is what I mean by when men don't realize, bro, you act like a whole ass nigga. This is whole ass tendencies. This is how women think. This is what women want you to think. Women want you to think that you can't live without them. You can't have success without them. This now again, I get it. You may not be on the Coach Greg Adams channel watching the lifestyle. One thing I love about Coach Greg is that man be posting receipts. So I'm gonna pull up one more kind of male from this kind of archetype, okay? That for the most part, again, just a human desert. The kind of guys, bro, these type of dudes will dry a bitch up from miles away. Okay? These kind of dudes is the kind of dudes that have faced harsh rejection. All right. So we got beloved right here. I think his name is Cool Vic. So he's reacting to a live with Coach Greg. I'm not gonna play the entire thing because we kind of know where it's going. This is pretty much supposed to be a reaction to the Andrew Wilson and CGA debate. So this is someone who feels as though Andrew Wilson won and Coach Greg is this corny dude. And for the most part, you're gonna get guys who are married or in long-term relationships, or men who have a loser mindset, men who exist on the lower side of the gene pool, the lower side of the SMV. It's a thing, bro. Dudes with low SMV be haters, bro. I've been around these niggas. I've been around niggas who don't drive, bro. I've been around niggas who don't got education. I've been around niggas who have no fucking ambition. I can confirm for you, they will actually get mad at you for encouraging them to do better.